Hi everybody, this is Jeff Witcher with Vinyl Destination, and this video is in response to a nomination I got from Chris Propfe. His channel is called Musically Obsessed, and this is in response to a 300 subs contest for a Jersey Joey. And there were three questions that were asked, and Chris was kind enough to nominate me and also say some very nice things about my channel, and I have nothing but nice things to say about Chris's channel. I love watching all his videos. I love his collection. He's got such a wide variety of tastes, such an eclectic range of music, which I totally appreciate because I also appreciate a wide range of music. And so I wanted to do this video in response to that nomination. And the first question was an oddball album in your collection. And I don't know if this so much qualifies as oddball, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. This is a Star Trek album, and it is there's four different stories, and it's sort of like a audio play or whatever you want to call it, but it's The Time Stealer, To Starve, A Flavor, The Logistics of Stampede, and A Mirror for Futility. And so it's all, Star Trek themed. There's just four different stories, 2 stories per side. And, it's an interesting album. I have not listened to it all the way through, but I love science fiction, and so I picked this one up. And at some point, I'll give it a more thorough listen. But that's going to be my nomination for that one. The second question was 2 albums by bands or artists where there are 2 family members in the band. And so the first album that I'm going to use, this is Santo and Johnny. These are brothers, and their most famous song is called Sleepwalk, and it actually appears on this album. I think their other big hit was maybe Caravan, which is also on here. They do a cover of Raunchy, and there's not really a whole lot. Harbor Lights, I think Elvis Presley covered that particular song, and Blue Moon as well. There's a song called All Night Diner on here, but these were 2 brothers. One of them played the electric guitar, and the other played like the electric slide guitar. If you're familiar with that song, Sleepwalk, it was a big instrumental hit in the 50s. I really have a soft spot for that song. I love it. And this is the long playing album. It's just called Santo and Johnny. It's on the Canadian American label. And it's a really thick record. It almost feels like it's 180 gram. But this is what that label looks like. And it's, like I say, it's a really thick vinyl. And when, records were originally pressed, you had the advantage of them being on really high quality vinyl. And this is no exception. So I don't know if there's a year on this. It says April 1959. So that's what this... the song Sleepwalk, at least, dates back to 1959. And then the second album that I am going to answer this question with is going to be Dire Straits, because you have Mark Knopfler and David Knopfler. David Knopfler was only with Dire Straits for 2 albums. This was Dire Straits' second album, Communique. And it really kind of follows the blueprint of the first album. If you like the Dire Straits debut album, the self-titled debut album, which has Sultans of Swing on it, you will like this one. Songs you might recognize on here, my favorite song on this album is Lady Writer. There's also Once Upon a Time in the West. Where Do You Think You're Going is also on here. The song Communique is pretty cool. But like many brother partnerships, whether it be Oasis, the Gallagher brothers, or the Kinks, the Davies brothers, or even the Everly brothers, the brothers did not get along. Creedence Clearwater Revival, another band where you had the brothers that could not get along, and the Knopfler brothers were no exception. So Great album though, and I wish it could have lasted a bit longer, but obviously Dire Straits went on to bigger and better things following that album. Excuse me. And then the third question is your favorite third album by an artist. And for that one, I'm going to go with REM's. Now you can either call it Reconstruction of the Fables or Fables of the Reconstruction, depending on which way you look at it. I love this album. It's such a departure from REM's first two full-length albums, Murmur and Reckoning. Even just from the get-go, feeling gravity's pull, you just have it's just such a sparse guitar lick, and there's some strings in it, just some sonic textures that you'd never heard from REM before. And most people thought, they're just gonna ride this jangly pop thing into the ground. And this album stands as a testament to, no, they're not, and they're more than just a one-note band. It's just some really great tracks on here. Driver 8 is on here. Life and How to Live It is also on here. Can't Get There From Here was the big single, which I love. I think the video is great also. But I think I read they almost broke up during the making of this album, kind of like The Doors, Waiting for the Sun. It was like third album, and it was a long slog in the studio. It was taking them a long time to get the album or any songs recorded, and yet the results on this are just fantastic. It just shows the diversity, both in songwriting and also instrumentation. They really branched out on this album, and it's definitely one of my favorites. If you're a fan of REM, maybe you only know them from Document or Green, or if you're a child of the 90s, you probably are familiar with Losing My Religion and the Automatic for the People album. But this is really, I think, where REM came of age, and so I am going with that album. Once again, thank you, Chris, so much for nominating me, and if you haven't checked out Chris's channel yet, definitely do. Love his album collection, love how he shares whenever he checks out either the flea markets or any store that he goes to, the albums that he brings back, he shares those. I'd love to start doing videos like that, and hopefully at some point I will. But, thanks for all the kind words, Chris. I really appreciate it, and I love your channel, and I hope everybody is doing great, and take care, and, thanks for watching.